Hey guys, is it ever a good idea to lend money to friends or family members? To hear our thoughts on this matter, keep watching.
Hi guys, this is Marriage and Family Matters. I'm Sonia and this is my husband Brennan. Today we're talking to you about lending money. So, have you ever been in a situation where someone close to you, like a family member or a friend, asked you for money? If so, how did you handle that situation? We're going to talk about how we handled that situation and our thoughts about lending money. Honey, do you want to talk about your experiences with lending money?
Sure. As much as I would like to sit here and tell you I had really good experiences about with lending money, I've not. I've had a couple, but overwhelmingly, the majority of the experiences that I've had when I lent money to family members have not gone, has not gone the best. And it's not saying anything bad about my family members at all, but it's just those types of situations typically strain relationships. So I'll just talk briefly about some of the experiences that I've had. So one experience in particular, I was in college and I lent money to an older sibling of mine. And make a long story short, the money didn't get paid back. And, when you owe somebody money, typically people come and ask for their money. Now, again, this is all pre-Dave Ramsey. This is even before I even had a career. So I didn't really have money to lend out. But it's sort of hard when you got a sibling or another family member asking you for money and you have some excess cash that you can give them. You give them, but you don't get it back. So again, make a long story short, that situation ended well. It ended with a lot of strain on our personal relationship, a lot of frustration on my part, it put some distance between me and that member of my family for a brief period of time. And, for me, I think that was probably, now that I look back at the situation, that's probably a lot of undue or unnecessary strain and tension in a relationship that didn't have to happen. And it didn't have to happen if I didn't lend the money. Now, what I'm saying is, what I'm not saying is that we shouldn't help family members out. I'm not saying that, or friends.
Right.
In my situation, I've never had to lend a friend money, but I've had to lend family members. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't help out. What I am saying is we need to think about how we help out, right? Because you don't want to put yourself in a situation like I was in, and someone that you was close with, you may no longer be close with anymore because you lent money and they didn't pay it back, or they didn't pay it back the way you guys discuss in your terms in the agreement with lending the money. So ever since we encountered Dave Ramsey, we decided that we will not lend any money. Not at all. We believe in Proverbs 22:7. The rich shall rule the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. I believe in that thoroughly.
Right. We don't want to enslave anybody.
We don't. Not at all. At least I don't want to.
No.
And I don't want to be sitting in a family gathering or at a special occasion with family and have this unnecessary tension or not be able to engage in a relationship that I'm used to because of this thing hanging over this person's head or hanging over my head. I don't want that. So, you got any experiences with lending money?
Just a couple, and I think I've learned early on from those experiences where I was in the same situation. It wasn't like I had a whole lot of excess to give, but because the family being in the situation that we're in, I felt like I wanted to help, and so I did, banking on the promise of getting that money back, but then when I didn't get it, I don't really have time to go and be like a bill collector and have to chase people down for
you got my money.
So, after maybe 2 or 3 attempts, I just give up. And so I learned very quickly after that happened twice, that there's no need for me to lend money if I don't actually have it to give.
Exactly.
If I can't do without it, then I'm not going to lend it.
Exactly. So exactly what my wife just said, that's the rule that we adopted, right? So if we can't give you the money, meaning we can't gift it to you without any expectation of receiving it back, we don't give it. And along with that, if we decide to give you that money, it's because we have excess and we want to help you out, or help the family member or friend out. But we do that to, with some stipulations. I mean, again, we're just not going to give out our hard-earned finances without figuring out what's going on in your life. And if you are not willing to discuss those things, don't come ask for my money.
Yeah, we're those people.
Yeah. So here's what we look for, or some of the questions that we ask when someone asks us to borrow some money. First of all, we tell them we're not going to lend you money. We'll gift it to you if we have it. And most of the time we have it. And so we'll decide after we talk and go over our budget whether we want to do this and how that's going to impact us and our household. That comes first above everything. No matter how much we may want to help this person out, if it impacts our household in a negative way, it won't happen. Yeah. If it's going to cause tension between me and my wife and my partner and my best friend, it's not going to happen. If it's going to put my son out of something that he's doing, it's not going to happen, right? So we make sure that it doesn't affect home first. That's first of all. The second thing we do is we ask, how did you get in this situation? Like, what's going on with your finances that require you to ask us for some assistance? And when we ask these things, it's not in a snobbish way.
No.
So don't.
It's not in a malicious way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to get all in somebody's business so that we can use it later.
Yeah.
It's really because we want to help, because we've been there.
Exactly.
And we want to, be able to not enable a continuing poor situation if there's something that we can do or advice that we can give that will help turn the situation around to where that person may not be able to lend or give money later to someone else.
Exactly. And of course, I'm always looking for a reason to throw Dave in somebody's life, right? Because I'm going to put him in his life, and down to the bus driver to come pick my son up for school. Dave Ramsey is going to be in your life. So, but no. So, it's not out of malicious intent, but it's more so from a caring heart, because we care about how you're doing with your finances, because that will in turn affect your life. And, we love this person and we want them to have a good life. And so we're going to do everything in our power, along with potentially giving money, giving knowledge and information and talking from personal experiences, that help this person out. So that's what we do. We also, ask if we can look at your budget. Now, some people may be like, whoa, you're crossing the line. But I say, is it crossing the line? Is it crossing the line when you ask me for my money? Right? I mean, so you're asking me for my money, but you don't want to talk about your money. So now I can tell you that the people that have borrowed money, well, not borrowed, but that we've gifted money, I don't think we've had any that was unwilling to talk about their finances. So that's a good thing. And so and most people and we don't have a lot of people asking, but we've had a couple, and they just didn't know, I guess they had some mishaps with their money. It wasn't anything in regards to poor decision making that I can recall. It's just the situations happen and they were not prepared. So we talk about that and work around that and see what we can do. What else? What else do we do?
I think that we check back in.
Exactly.
After a period of time. We
follow up. One, because we truly care about the individuals in our family as well as our friends. Two, we want to see if they've taken heed to any of the advice that we've given them. Now, I know my views on finances and debt to some people are a bit extreme, And I get that. But so I'm not looking for you to adopt my beliefs. But what I would like to see is that you're making better and smarter decisions with your finances. So we check back in for those purposes.
If you guys haven't noticed, we're very passionate about this stuff.
Yeah.
It is totally working for us, and so anytime we have the opportunity to reach out and help our family members or friends, and we certainly want to pass along the things that we've learned along the way. Not that we are so arrived and so successful, but it's just that the things that have worked for us, we're so excited and passionate about those things that we want to be able to share those with others.
Totally. And I'm gonna tell you, once you start to get on this once you get bit by this finance bug, man, it's like a drug, right? I've not taken any drugs, but for those that have taken drugs, no, I'm not even going there. But it's like, it's sort of addicting, because at least for me, trying to get out of debt is addicting. And it's something that, I know I can achieve. I get a thrill from paying off this debt. And I get the thrill from making good, sound financial decisions that will put my family in a better position tomorrow. I love that. Mm-hmm. So, and I want that for everybody. I want everybody to feel this feel. I want everybody to do and live the way they want to live. Minus that.
So, ultimately, we're not opposed to helping others by giving them money. We're just opposed to enslaving them by lending them and holding that over their head to where, they got to pay back. We got to be stressed about when we're going to get our money back. We got to be like the bill collector. Hey, man, I need my money. Yeah. We ain't got time for that. So
we don't. I'm not trying to be anybody's master.
No.
All right? I don't even want to be my own master sometimes. So, hey.
It's just so much easier to not be able to not have to deal with that. To just be able to say, here it is. It's yours. Do what you need to do.
And ultimately, for me, it feels damn good just to be able to say, hey, here you go. That's it. No strings attached. And for a lot of people, they're like, what? Really? I don't got to give you back this money? What? How are you able to give me money? Well, then, that's my road in. Dave Ramsey, baby. Dave Ramsey. So anyway, that's all we have for today. If you like what you heard, if you've been experiencing some of the things that we've talked about and weren't sure how to handle it, take heed to the advice. With that said, this has been Marriage and Family Matters.
Where marriage and family does matter.
It does, guys. So until next time, we'll see you.